Tips for You Wednesday. We are here again. Oh, crikey, where does the time go? So, I am talking about a free resource that I am offering you today. I'm going to be running a 7-day free group that starts on Monday, the 20th of January. And we're going to be going over the 7 pillars of health. I've been inundated with messages from you guys since we got through sort of the festive period. And people just asking for help with either their nutrition, movement, mental health, and I just thought I'm going to put together a free resource, a free group for you, and we're going to cover the 7 pillars of optimal living. So I've got to have a look at my notes because I can't remember off the top of my head what I'm doing on each day. So we're going to start off with mind and emotions. Our mental health is just so crucial. Day 2 is going to be breathing. Day 3 will be healthy hydration. Day 4, the importance of good food. Day 5 will be movement. Day 6, sleep. And day 7 will be connection, the importance of connection. So just breaking those down briefly now. I will obviously go into it in a lot more detail in the group. If you guys want to join the group, either leave me a comment or click the link in my bio. If you're watching this on Instagram, if you go to my Linktree link in my bio, that's got a link through to get you access to the group. If you're watching this as a recording in Facebook or on YouTube, either send me a message or click the link to the form, which will be in either the comments on Facebook or in the description on YouTube. So just to get that out of the way. So yeah, I mean, basically mind emotions. How we think, how we perceive the world around us, it literally is just our perception. It's incredible. Two people can watch the same, say, road traffic accident, and they will both have completely different versions of what happened. In fact, that happened to me a while ago. I was driving down the motorway, heading up north. There were large puddles on the road, and this Audi in front of me had just overtaken me, a lorry had just overtaken me, and the Audi hit a puddle and literally did a 90-degree turn at high speed on the motorway and just literally vanished up this bank and ended up in this massive ditch. It was such a shock. My body was pathetic. I couldn't even dial 999 fast correctly because I was shaking so much. The lorry that was just overtaking me at the same time slammed on his brakes. His brakes locked. Thankfully, he stayed in control of that. But when I literally dumped my car and ran up the embankment to see if this man needed any sort of medical immediate assistance. I helped him get out of the car because he was completely stuck. And by the time the ambulance had arrived and the police had arrived, both my version of the events and this lorry driver's version of events, we were describing completely different accidents, but it was the same accident. I mean, absolutely fascinating how we perceive things differently. So just tying that back into how we will do day 1, the way we perceive the world creates an emotional response within us, and our emotions then fire off various hormones around our body, and our hormones are absolutely vital to literally every chemical reaction within our body. And when our thought processes are supporting us, life's hunky-dory. But when our thought processes and our belief systems are not, then that's when we can set off all sorts of sort of negative chemical reactions within our bodies. And it's about sort of taking a really holistic approach to how we can reframe certain things with a positive tilt, and also help us to feel more in control of our life rather than reactive. I think this day and age, so many of us we just sort of, something happens and we react, something else happens and we react, rather than feeling as though we are living our day is living us. And I don't think I'm alone in feeling that. I think so many of us are feeling frazzled, and we just, even just to try and get a healthy meal is hard because we don't have the time to even think about what we're going to eat, to even buy it, to even cook it. Life can become so frazzling. And so it's about how we can support our thought processes to support the chemical reactions in our bodies, to help create that foundation of just being in control of our lives a little bit more, get rid of some of that frazzle. Day 2 is breath work. So it's not just about deep breathing. I think a lot of us know the benefits of deep breathing. It stimulates our lymphatic system, it floods our cells with oxygen and nutrients, it helps get rid of toxins, helps to relax us. But you know, our air as well, unless you're really lucky, is so polluted nowadays. And often our houses are as well, from the products that we use, from furniture sprays to the carpets that we have in our properties. Even that lovely new carpet smell, it's it shouldn't be a lovely new smell because it's got chemicals in it which are really toxic to us. So this isn't about going completely organic and sort of eco-friendly and trying to clean your bath with lemon juice and baking soda, although apparently that does work really, really well. It's about just a few tips and tricks which will be really easy to implement to cleanse our bodies, but also keep the interior of our houses in a sort of healthier state. So that's our day 2. Day 3 is the importance of good hydration. Our bodies rely upon electrical impulses, and we need good hydration in order for the messages to get around our bodies correctly. Also, if you get dehydrated, your risk of heart attack goes up massively because your blood becomes stickier. Particularly if you have high blood pressure already, you're putting an enormous strain on your heart, but also the other organs of your body, your kidneys, your liver. Your liver is your main detoxing organ. And so water in and of itself is absolutely vital. But again, it's a bit like the air that surrounds us. Our water is so polluted these days, whether it's runoff from the fields, whether it's contaminated from lead from the air, from our car exhausts, etc. So we'll be looking at ways of drinking more water, even if you hate water. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, that's really kind of you. I would try and repeat your name, Mia Lucia, but I'm not entirely sure. I think I probably just killed that attempt. But it's about helping us drink more water and like water. So we'll be sharing some water recipes, some tips to make the water that you drink out of your tap healthier. We'll be going over the sort of pros and cons of carbonated and still, tap water against bottled water, glass bottles against plastic bottles, and we're sort of really breaking it down. So just so that you come away having a really good understanding of the types of water you should be drinking, how often you should be drinking, and how much you should be drinking, and ways to also combat and deal with the sort of heavy metals that are in our environment. So there are healthy ways to do that. Day 4 will all be about nutrition. So really depending upon how the the people in the group and the specific needs that they have. Most people struggle with sugar cravings, so I will probably cover sugar cravings to some degree. Some people are right at the moment are trying to do dry January and they're struggling with that. So if that's the case, we'll do an element of getting off the booze. If it's late night snacking, if it's going out and partying, or if it's just not having time for, creating healthy meals, I sort of want to get some feedback from you guys, which is partly why it's day 4, because it can give you time to sort of, share where your struggles are, so that I can then make sure that I address the main issues with you, so that you go away feeling like you've actually got something useful out of it, not what I think you might need. So, but I mean, again, of course, nutrition is absolutely key. 80% of our results come from nutrition, on a health and vitality level. I think also there's so much information out there about nutrition that it's easy to just tie nutrition to how we look. And it's so much more than that. It's so much more about having vitality and energy and waking up every day with your body feeling like it's getting what it needs, not rather than, oh, it was another compromised day. You wanted to in the morning, but then the end of the day, the time ran out and you just went to the fast food outlet again, that sort of thing. So it's about having a really healthy, holistic approach to food. And food, food should not be that overcomplicated. There's so much misinformation out there about how to eat healthily. Food labels are some of the worst because it's so misleading. If you try and eat healthy and you read what it says on the front of the packet, it tells you it's natural, tells you it's organic, tells you it's low sugar, but it doesn't tell you all the other stuff that's hidden in the label on the back. It just drives me absolutely potty, food labels. So we'll be going over that as well. Day 5 will be movement, and again, it's not just based upon exercise. I will be sharing workouts in the group. If you've been in previous free groups of mine, they will not be the clean week workouts. They are sample workouts that have accumulated over the years. I've got some really good workouts actually. So depending on what your level of fitness is, when you get into the group, I will be adding just a couple of questions to find out, where your level of fitness is at, so that I can make sure I direct you to the right types of workouts, rather than scrolling through them and thinking, oh, I can't do that one either, and oh, I can't do that one. I don't want you to be frustrated. I want it to be something that really helps you. I know we're all short on time, and I really respect that. So if you're showing up for the group, I want to be able to get the right information to you in the fastest time available. So also, again, I think workouts, exercise is something that it's so easy to think that we just do it to make ourselves look better. But again, it's more about the importance of movement to our body on the whole. So it helps improve our agility, it helps improve our balance, it helps improve our flexibility, obviously strength and endurance. What else is there? Our ability to assimilate oxygen and take oxygen into our cells. But there's, I think it's very easy, particularly in my line of work, to think, oh, well, we just work out because we want to look good. We want long, lean, sculpted muscles. But it's not just about that. It's about overall health. If you don't actually use your muscles, the body's tendency is to let the muscle atrophy, so to get weaker. The body is always trying to save energy and to be lazy, really. So when we don't work out, the muscles will decline in health and in form. So exercise in and of itself is incredibly important, particularly when you get to midlife. If you're menopausal, our bones get weaker, and when we're working out and moving, it encourages our bones to be strong and to take the nutrients that they need out of hopefully our healthy food. So it won't just be about working out, it'll be taking every aspect of movement into account on day 5. Day 6 is about sleep. I know one of you sent me a message a little while ago. You struggle with insomnia, so we'll be covering that in some detail. I will probably do a sleep specific free group to go really deeply into various sleep issues, because I think sleep is such a massive subject. We should dedicate a good 5 days to that at some point in the future. But we will do some deep diving into the importance of sleep. Just again, taking a very holistic approach to it. So the circadian rhythms, the rise of the sun, setting of the moon, all this sort of thing, that the way we live our lives these days, we're surrounded by electrical gadgets. We're encouraged to work later and later and more hours, and then we get home and we feel like we deserve to be able to slob out in front of the television, or whatever it might be. I think a lot of us are guilty of it. Or you find your new favourite series on Netflix or whatever it might be, and you just think, oh, just another half hour, I'll just watch this, or maybe just an hour later won't make much difference. But we end up becoming sleep deprived chronically, and sleep is just so vital. It's such a foundation of every other aspect of our good health. That's why sleep deprivation is a form of torture. It really is. It's agonizing when you don't get it right, and it's easy to sort of allow it to slip night after night after night after night. And every morning it's a battle to get up out of bed. Every morning, if you've slept well, the body is designed to have a cortisol spike to help you jump out of bed and be motivated to get on with the day. And I know a lot of you are saying, my alarm goes off and I just want to press the snooze button and go back to sleep again, because the thought of getting out of bed is so painful, even though you've got to. So that would suggest, we need to work at improving our sleep patterns as well. So we'll be going into sleep on day 6, and then I'll be finishing it all off with the importance of connection, because babies can die if they don't have any human touch. We are designed for connection, and I am an introvert. I'm an INFJ. I love my time alone. I mean, I am really happy. I live in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I obviously have my children around me. I don't need a lot of people around me in order to feel happy and connected. I do have some very strong, a very few quality relationships with people. And of course, I have a very busy business. So, I'm constantly connecting with people online, which is lovely because that gives me that kind of connection too. But if I go to a party or something, or even just like a gathering, I feel exhausted afterwards because it's all that communicating and connecting with people. But on a certain level, even the most introverted of us needs connection. And a certain element of that will be connection with yourself. What is the relationship that you have with yourself as well? How do you connect with yourself? Is it positive or is it negative? So many of us, oh God, I mean, the things that we say to ourselves, you would never dare say it to your best friend or a loved one because it would break that relationship. Well, when you're telling it to yourself, you don't have that opportunity to walk away. So we will be looking at the connection that we have with ourselves as well, but just about how we can enhance connection in our lives to suit us the way that we want it. It's also about connecting with nature and the world around us and the environment, because particularly if you suffer with stress, you're frazzled, you're not sleeping very well, there's a certain element of us, me included, that finds that connection with nature absolutely grounding. And if if something goes wrong, or I'm having a frazzled day, or like my daughter just went back to uni again, and I just love her being at home. And of course, it wasn't as hard as when she started uni. That was really tough. But she went, and I went out for a walk with the dogs because I knew being outside, connecting with nature, being out with the animals, looking at the sun, occasionally it shone, it just makes you feel so much better. It supports your mental health. And so it's all about, we'll be going into connection on all the different levels on the final day. So that's it in a nutshell. If you're interested to join us, like I said, if you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in my link tree. So in my bio, click the link tree link, and that will give you the option to get into the group that way. It's called the 7 Pillars of Health. And if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, just click the link in the description on YouTube and the comments on Facebook, and that will get you into the group too. I've also added the event to the group today on my Facebook timeline, so it's kicking around. It's a pretty blue image, so you'll see that with the blue hyacinth. So hope that's been helpful. I would love for you to join me. You will need a Facebook account in order to do it on Facebook. I know a lot of you don't have Facebook accounts, but I know also some people create an account and just for the free group, and then once that free group's finished, get rid of their account again. So it's entirely up to you guys as to how you do it. Each day I will be going live. I will also be adding a written post so that if you're a more visual learner, it suits you. If you're more of an auditory learner, it suits you. And if you're just really busy and you haven't got time to watch, you can listen to me rabbit on in the video while you're doing other stuff. I'll be sharing recipes. I'll be sharing a guide that I've created for you. I've got so many different resources, and as the week progresses, depending upon what your needs are specifically, I might be sharing my affirmations ebook. I might be sharing my healthy sleeping habits ebook. Really depends what your needs are. So I can't wait to do this, and if you've got any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, if you've got anything you want me to cover in future Wellness Tips for You Wednesday, again, send me a message or leave me a comment, and I'll make sure to add it to the rotation of various subjects that you guys send me messages about. I love that. I think that's brilliant. The reason I'm here is not because I love talking to the camera, it's because I love sharing information which might help you. So never feel afraid to send me a message, and even if it's something I've covered before, I'm happy to go over it again, because, you know, my audience changes, and the way the algorithm works, only a small percentage of my followers actually will see this anyway. So it doesn't matter if I go over the same old stuff again. So hope that helps you. I hope you have a cracking rest of your day, and I'll catch you soon.